moving on to item 6.6, our 11 a.m. item, presentation of proclamation promoting tolerance, respect, equity, and inclusion in Lake County. And I believe that you will be hearing all of the Board of Supervisors reading a portion of this, and I believe we will be starting with Supervisor Simon.
Are we going to put it up on the board, or we're just going to read it? This question.
If it's possible, Ms. Hutchinson, is it possible to post that on the, to share the screen?
If not, I can start too right now.
Yeah, if you'll just give me a second, I'll put it up. Just a couple seconds.
And if I may ask, while we're waiting for that, Supervisor Scott and Supervisor Crandall, what is the, I know it's CCA, but what is the group's name that helped bring this to us?
You put me on the spot.
Yes, I did.
I have it.
I know the acronym, but I forget what it actually spells out.
It is the Community Call to Action Group.
Thank you so much.
Okay, are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay. Board of Supervisors, County of Lake, State of California proclamation promoting tolerance, respect, equity, and inclusion in Lake County. Whereas the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution provides that no state may deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws, and the California Constitution provides substantially the same protections. And whereas the First Amendment of the United States Constitution provides in pertinent part that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting its free exercise, and the California Constitution provides that the exercise and the enjoyment of religious profession and worship without discrimination or preference shall be forever followed or allowed in this state. And
whereas both federal and California laws protect persons from discrimination on the basis of race, religion, ethnicity, national origin, gender, age, sexual orientation or preference, gender identity, disability, and other protected classifications. And whereas, despite these laws, which are intended to promote inclusiveness, respect, and equity, there appears to be a growing intolerance in this country, which often seems to express itself in prejudice, bigotry, and anger. And
whereas Lake County is home to the ancestral lands of 7 indigenous tribal nations, including the Middletown Rancheria of Pomo Indians of California, the Khoi Nation of Northern California, the Big Valley Band of Pomo Indians, the Scotts Valley Band of Pomo Indians, the Habemetalel Pomo of Upper Lake, the Robinson Rancheria of Pomo Indians of California, and the Elam Indian Colony. And whereas County of Lake has a rich history, and Lake County residents are a diverse group of people with tribal ancestral lands now shared by many ethnic and racial groups, genders, ages, abilities, and sexual orientations. And
Jessica.
Oh, that's me, sorry. Whereas your county government, this board has an obligation to protect, respect, and serve everyone equally. And whereas this board believes we cannot be silent in the face of intolerance, hatred, violence, and inequities, which are a direct threat to our democracy. And
whereas at this moment of reckoning, we are called upon to listen and to speak out, to kneel and to stand, to reflect and to improve, to learn and to teach. We must answer these calls together as a community. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Lake County Board of Supervisors denounces all forms of hate and violence directed toward any group of individuals, strongly condemns all race-based hate crimes, and extends our deepest condolences to the families and friends of all victims of race-based violence. Further, it be resolved, the Lake County Board of Supervisors confirms its continuing mandate to require all county departments to practice tolerance, respect, equality, and inclusion, and commits to furthering county policies and administrative measures to support of this goals. Further, it be resolved that the Lake County Board of Supervisors encourages all schools, local businesses, churches, community-based organizations, and residents to work toward tolerance, respect, equality, and inclusion throughout our communities. Further, it be resolved in continuing efforts to demonstrate to our community that we share their concerns and we are a board committed to tolerance, respect, equality, and inclusion. The Lake County Board of Supervisors will host a community visioning session to develop recommendations for meaningful actions and activities that will build bridges where there may be walls, fostering tolerance, respect, understanding, equality, and inclusion, promoting nonviolence and nonviolence conflict resolution, focusing resources and underlying causes, and continues to lead the equality resources and justice distribution, relevant solutions for any social injustice as they may come to light. Issued this 23rd day of February 2021. Signed and adopted by all supervisors of the County of Lake.
Thank you very much for everybody taking part in this. Supervisor Scott and Supervisor Crandall, you both brought this to the board. Do you have any other words that you would like to speak before we open it up for the public and move on?
You know, I just would like to point out the fact that I don't believe we've ever had a proclamation that all supervisors read a portion. And I thought it was definitely needed for us to do this, to show that we are all in support of this. And we feel that this is an important step that we need to take as a board. So I really thank all the supervisors for reading a portion of this. I think it was incredibly needed for our community. And, you know, it's a big statement that it was our community that brought this here. They've been meeting for months now to come up with some sort of solution. They want to move it in direction. And I thank the community for bringing this to us. It wasn't I that put this together. It was the community in collaboration with the supervisors to bring this to us. So I think the next step is to decide, you know, what these visioning sessions are going to look like. I'm excited to hear from the public and the rest of the supervisors. I've already actually been reached out by a company looking to help us support our goals, goals of diversity and inclusion with data and artificial intelligence. So there is agencies out there, you know, that can come and help us. I think we need to find the right facilitator to help us have a productive discussion and help us further the actions that we have put in this proclamation. And also, I don't know if we've ever had a proclamation where we've had action items at the end of it, where it wasn't just a proclamation that we read and we've moved on with our day. We are actually going to be having action items and, you know, serious about making sure our community has equality for all and not just for some. So, thank you.
Supervisor Crandall?
Yes, no, Tina, you did bring it forward though, so thank you for doing that. And I do appreciate the community call to action group, Joanne Siccato, and the other folks that were a part of it. They asked for my input. I gave some input, but ultimately, Tina, you brought it forward, and I appreciate that. And I do appreciate the fact that we all read it together and that there will be some follow-up. And so, again, I won't belabor anymore, and I'll allow whoever else to speak.
Thank you. Any further comment from the board? Supervisor Pyska?
I appreciate the community members and the supervisors that bring this forward. This really is the time for us to be serious about our commitment to social justice. This is the most diverse board that our county has ever had, and representation really matters. And this is an important time for us. I'd like to understand a little bit more about the visioning session. Supervisor Scott mentioned contracting with a facilitator, possibly. I think that's an excellent idea. And I'm wondering if there's topics already in mind, and will this be a structure that we can keep in place and bring forward when we have difficult decisions or difficult discussions that we need to have.
Okay, thank you. Any further comments or questions from the board? And what I would like to suggest is because there are action items, is I will speak with a supervisor outside of this meeting and look at possibly creating some sort of ad hoc committee that is committed to those action items rather than just waiting for it to happen in a vacuum. Since we made those proclamations together, that I want to make sure that we also work to further this rather than waiting for the community group to do it for us. And so I will talk with one of these supervisors and with Ms. Hutchinson on what the best path to making that happen is. Possibly next week, we'll come back with an agenda item to make that happen. And so that's what I can do on my side. And looks like we have some people in the public waiting to make a comment. So Jake, let's go ahead and open up the boardroom or the Zoom room, please. And let's go ahead and start with Carol Cole-Lewis, who happened to put her hand up first.
Yes, good morning, everybody. I'm Carol Cole-Lewis from Upper Lake, California, and I am a part of the CCA committee. And I am so excited that the board has agreed to take this on and has signed this proclamation, especially with the action item attached. I would like to put forward myself as being a part of your ad hoc committee because I think the only way we get change done is if we do it locally. And we have such a fantastic opportunity here with this proclamation to bring together all the sides of our community and to make Lake County a better place to live for everyone. So I laud and applaud you, and I'm so thankful for the work that you've done to make this a reality. And I look forward to the visioning sessions. Thank you.
Thank you. Next hand that I see is Sally Peterson.
Amini Albany Hioni Kaluktuk. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak on this. Again, my name is Sally Peterson. I am a tribal member of Middletown Rancheria, and I've been a community member here for over 20 years. And I just wanted to thank both Supervisor Scott and Supervisor Crandall for bringing this forward, and the entire Board of Supervisors for obviously supporting this. It's a great day. We live in a community with a lot of diversity, and to recognize that fact has been a long time coming. I actually called in early this morning at 6 a.m. this morning to listen in on a Senate hearing for a Native woman that was being confirmed for the Department of the Interior. And we have never had a Native person in that capacity, which is kind of ironic. But this is a great day to have this proclamation for a county that is so diverse with 7 tribal nations and all of the other diversity. I'm a single mother of 2 African-American sons I have. They're grown now, but, being raised in a community here, along with their ancestry roots of Native American and African-American, has been a uniqueness that I'm really glad this county is supporting. So I'm very happy. And it's a great day. So kahuika.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comment? And I do see that we have a couple folks on the phone. Jake, if you can let them know how they can unmute, just in case that they're not aware what they need to dial.
Actually, I will send out a mute request right now. We wanted to get through those hand raises first.
Okay.
So that unmute request is out there on the Zoom floor. If you'd like to make a comment, please state your first and last name. And that unmute request should hit the phone users as well.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It looks like Joanne Staccato raised her hand.
Hi, everyone. I just want to take this moment to thank the board and the staff and everybody in the community call to action group that came together with their hearts and their minds to try to find a way to respond in our local community to this national situation. And what I really appreciated was some of the work that was done to be more inclusive, to recognize that the issues that started this, the George Floyd and the Breonna Taylor, the atrocities that have happened in that community is not isolated, and to recognize that there are so many targeted populations that are not, as Tina was saying, are not getting the equal access to what America offers, to the promise. And so this became a much better proclamation and invitation into action as a result of expanding that inclusion to consider all of those, everyone that has been targeted in some way or another because of their differences. So again, my deepest appreciations to everyone for prioritizing this, and I really look forward to see how community is going to come together in addressing anything, if we find anything here in Lake County. So, that was the other thing that I appreciated, was to not jump from a place of assumptions, but let's see what is happening, and let's see what we can do to make things better for everyone that's here. So thank you all. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Okay, let's go ahead and close public comment. Any final comments from board members? And like I said, we'll be back next week with something to help follow up on those action items.